What is up, guys? The one and only Captain Rendrag here to tell you a story to be told and a story I will remember until I'm old. I'm filming here at Colt State Park. Beautiful night. It's in August. And Colt State Park has quite the history to it, doesn't it? It used to have a hospital on the premises. It also has one of the largest veterans cemeteries for the American Civil War up front. Really cool cemetery if you get a chance to check it out. And a beautiful bay and an ocean over there that the beach is a little rocky, but it's cold year-round and it's usually not too busy. People don't think of going there. I'll tell you another thing that people don't think about. It's the fact that almost over 20 years ago they used to do Civil War reenactments there. This is way back yonder. I was 16, I'm now 46, so that tells you that was about 30 years ago, and it was the last time I remember doing that event there. It was my first ever large reenactment that I had been a part of. I had done a couple smaller ones. I had done Millis. I had done one that was at South County Museum, but this was my first large one. And it was in August. I remember the time. It was very hot. We had brought out 3 artillery pieces. All original, by the way. We had an 1843 Ames, which we're not sure if I ever saw it action. It's a bronze tube, smooth, very big. It took 6-pounders, is a 6 to 8 pound shot inside there. We had the 20-pound Parrott, which is the largest field artillery piece ever to be invented during the Civil War. And we had a 3-inch ordnance rifle that was supposed to be from the field of Gettysburg. And I think that was the second to last time that we used that piece. We would use it one more time. One more time over in Uxbridge. Now, as we all know, the American Civil War never touched grounds in the the northern parts of the United States. There were skirmishes that were reported in Vermont, New York, but there was never any large scale battles. So this was just a little living history for the people to watch and see what it would have been like back then. They had the Confederates set up on one side of the park and the Union set up on the other. And I remember I was put on the limber chest. Now, this limber chest was very heavy. Myself and my friend Matt DeGrade and 2 other people carried this thing out to the field, almost the distance of 3 to 4 football fields, on top of pushing said artillery piece, which at that time they had put me on the 20-pound Parrott. We get there. Now, this limber chest isn't just to feed the Parrott, it's also to feed the ordnance rifle and the Ames. Very inaccurate. Each one of those guns would have had a limber chest, but to find an original one and to make one, it's pretty expensive. But I remember we couldn't get the guns up and going. We were supposed to have those artillery pieces up and shelling the tree line that the Confederates were starting to advance from. Silly story. Rest in peace, Matt Dick. But he was out getting ice cream and he had the limber key. He had not paid attention to the fact of when the battle was and the fact that we were going to have to go out a little earlier. You know, it took some time to push those artillery pieces out there. So along comes Matt Dick and Sergeant Dick, as we call them. Good man. And he is waddling much like Donald Duck as he's walking across the field. And we're getting shot at by the Confederates. And in all states of resistance, the Union hadn't even bailed us out yet. They were just starting to come out with the infantry. So they almost overtook our cannons before the battle even took place, because even the Union infantry wasn't in the right place at the right time. Myself, Matt DeGrade, and a couple others took cover behind the limber chest, and let's be honest, that's a bad place to take cover. And in all honesty, too, we all would have been slaughtered by that line of fire. But we were told to keep down and not to take hits yet, you know, because it's usually number-wise to take the hits, because we needed to have the people to arm the guns. Lo and behold, Matt Dick does waddle across the field as he's getting shot at with an ice cream cone in his hand. And he does unlock the artillery pieces and, you know, the limber. And by then, now the Union's coming forward. So the Union's coming forward, and they're at line with the artillery pieces. It wasn't supposed to be like that. The Union was already supposed to be engaging in them after the artillery bombardment. But, of course, we couldn't do the bombardment. So we actually were aiding in the charge of the Union infantry. What a time to behold, because it was one of the first times I had ever been around a very large reenactment. And I would tell you, although there was a reenactment, I was nervous. Those Confederates were pointing real Springfields at us. Those were not, you know, cap and ball toys. Yes, they were reproductions, but every one of them has the ability to fire a real round outside of it. And it was nerve-wracking. On top of it, one of the batteries we used to call Whitey's Battery was also starting to come on the field and fire at us and move up. What a time. What a time to behold. That's a camp story that I will tell my kids when I get older. That the guns weren't up and ready because the sergeant, he needed him some ice cream in that hot weather. Funny, huh? The one only Captain Rendrag. I love to hate you, hate to love you. Over and out.
I be looking for information on R&R. Speak to me, man.
R&R. Madness awaits.
Well, hello there, little Nacho. Would you be willing to grant me an interview about your furry friend? Nacho, what is it that you do for fun around here? Tell me.
I demand an explanation, Nacho. What have you done? I like destroying Chuckles' toys. That is unacceptable, Nacho. I have seen my fair share of heroes in this life. I have also been a superhero from time to time myself. You understand? Tell him who did this. You're talking to a dog, Rendrag. It can't talk back. A dog?
Welcome to Cooking with Dan Guitard. Today we are going to make a tuna cheese salad with cheesy mac and cheese. First, you are going to need to boil a small saucepan of water. Then open 2 cans of tuna and drain the water out of the tuna in a strainer. Next, add the macaroni. Measure ½ cup of Italian dressing. Now, ½ cup of vinegar.
Combine the 2 cans of tuna and the pasta in a mixing bowl with the 1 cup of vinegar and 1 cup of Italian dressing. Adding the cheese powder last and mix.
Lastly, add a cup of dill relish and 2 tablespoons of garlic. Let set for 2 hours in the fridge, covered. Woof, woof. Oh my God. Go on, you can have it. Slurp, slurp.
Like, subscribe, and comment.